2019! Are you guys ready for a great weekend? I need you to be a little bit louder. Are you guys ready for a great weekend? Who wants to talk about Overwatch? Please welcome to the stage the women of Overwatch, Carolina Ravassa! Lucie Pohl! Come on out, Lucie! And Jennifer Hale!
Hello.
Wow. Hello, Chicago.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Well, first of all, welcome to Chicago. I'm so excited to talk to all you guys. And I'm just curious, Overwatch is this like phenomenal, sensational game. I didn't see it coming, and I'm wondering, did you guys have any idea it was going to blow up the way it has? I mean, specifically Carolina and Lucie. Like, let's start there.
No, I did not have any idea that it would blow up, but I sort of live under a rock anyway.
But so when you signed on, you just thought, hey, this is just another sort of
gig
project and gig, and
yeah.
The response has been utterly amazing.
It's been mediocre, okay? It could be better.
I started recording after Overwatch had been out, but I'm not a gamer, sorry guys. And so even recording Sombra, I didn't realize Overwatch was so huge till BlizzCon and Sombra came out for me. So it's all been a crazy whirlwind. Never would have thought.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. And Jennifer, obviously, you're like a huge legend in the industry. You're so amazing. I'm so happy you're sitting here.
Woo! Thank you.
I mean, when I was reading, I'm like, she literally was named by Guinness Book of World Records for the most prolific, voice actor in games.
Female.
Hey, you don't have to qualify it, girl. We can.
No, I have great respect for Steve Bloom, who has the male record.
But that's amazing. So, how did you sort of decide to take on this role? And tell me about that.
Blizzard put out the call for auditions for this role, and I saw it, and I was like, oh, I love that one. And I love Blizzard. I mean, their work is amazing. Their writing is amazing. And she just clicked for me. I lived down south for a long time, so this was easy. And I love telling people what to do. So it was really fun. For me, it was a different experience than these two. In fact, we were even at a convention in England last summer, and I knew I was Ash, but nobody else knew I was Ash.
Right. We sort of knew a little bit.
You did?
I did know a little bit, but I was like, I don't know if I'm allowed to know.
Yeah, I wasn't. I mean, even on the Friday of BlizzCon this year, they announced me. They told me it was going to be on the Saturdays, so people were texting me on the Friday going, is this you? And I was like, I don't know. And I finally got permission through the proper channels, and I went, okay, it's me.
That was like such an anticipated announcement.
It was amazing.
People were
so much
really
fun.
excited. Yeah.
Once Michael Chu put something out on Twitter, we can talk about it. So once he had put your name out on Twitter, I said, okay, we can talk. Unless he does it, I don't say anything ever.
Yeah, that's true.
And Lucie, you hadn't really done a lot of video game work prior. So I'm wondering, what was the adjustment period from the live action, obviously, to behind the mic and for a video game?
When you work with really great people, then you can just trust them and let go. And I kind of realized very quickly that the people that I was working with were really, really good at what they were doing and at the top of the game. So I kind of just, exactly. So I kind of just went with the flow and was hoping I wouldn't get fired.
Well, that sounds like every session I've ever had.
I know, me too. I'm like, just Lucie, don't get fired.
Awesome.
Do they know I'm not Swiss? I was like, oh my God, they're gonna figure it out and they're gonna fire me. But no, so yeah, it was really about just trusting them and having fun. And I do think that, even for video games, it's acting, and so you do find a character and then you work on the character and you kind of try to see how you can convey certain feelings, emotions, intentions, so yeah, it was just kind of branching out.
Yeah, well, you actually bring up a really interesting point about getting fired because, as an artist, you are going job to job and you hope that there's always the next one and they overlap, but sometimes there is that sort of you know, the unknown that's ahead of you. And so when you approach a role and tackle a role, not only is what is your process, but how do you quench that fear, you know what I mean? And give a good performance.
There's two games going on. In this profession, you're running two games. The first game is the acting game. Actually, there's three. There's the acting game, there's the business game, because you got to handle your money and your business, and then there's the head game. And the head game is what you manage in the silence, and it's what you manage in the silence between jobs, and it's what you manage in the silence between takes. And it's all about what you make up in your head. Because in truth, unless someone actually said it out loud to you, you made it up. It's not actually real. And we all do that all day long. We make up stuff, we make assumptions we don't even realize we're making. And the game then is to construct a winning game between those. Not, I'm awesome, but like, you know, just start with zero. Like, there is no negative feedback, there's no positive, there's just silence. Okay, and nothing's wrong.
So is this a sort of an analogy or a lesson you developed from being an artist, or you developed it in your life and brought it into your art?
I
It's really poignant.
I think because I'm a human being, I'm a very empathic, sensitive human being, but the myth of, I think, for people who aren't empathic, which I don't think there's anyone in this room who isn't empathic, is that you know the content of what you're feeling, and you don't. You just get a feeling like something's off. And people tend to take that personally. I, as an empath, would often take that personally. And because I don't know the details of, oh, Joe just had a bad day at the blah, 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 and that's why he's grumpy. You go, that person's grumpy, what did I do? You know, and so I had to play that game just to win my life myself. Win such a silly word. Survive, you know, and not kill myself off. So.
That's really interesting. Thank you for sharing that. Carolina, you are fluent in 4 languages, and obviously with Overwatch, there's a very specific voice to your character. How did you sort of create that voice, and was it you influencing the producers, or did they sort of tell you exactly what they wanted?
I think that luckily they were very specific, and they said they wanted a Mexican accent in Spanish, obviously, and then a Hispanic accent in English. And for some people, that can be very general. So, and I've learned over the years that sometimes when they ask for a very specific, like when they ask me for a Brazilian Portuguese accent in English, it's a very weird way they talk. So they really don't want you to talk like this, because you're like, what? That's hard to understand. And that's what it is. But my point is, so I was like, maybe, so I did basically Sombra in my audition like this. And then I've told this story, sorry for repeating myself so much, Lucy. I did a Puerto Rican version of Sombra.
I never listened, so it's okay.
I thought that maybe like she could be New Yorker, you know, like she grew up in New York, but she's from Puerto Rico. So imagine apagando la luces. Yeah, so I did that version, and because they really wanted somebody from Mexico, or the accent, they went with what now is Sombra and her Spanish, because they were very specific. So I'm really glad that that's how it went. But I gave 2 options, just in case they were interested in my Puerto Rican version. But, you know, I clicked in because they said, you know, badass.
I might be.
Funny, I also gave a Puerto Rican version for Mercy.
I was the justice.
Heroes never die. Stupid.
Mom, do something.
Oh, and now we're all
like
Puerto
Ricky.
Rican, guys.
I'm very
Bob,
interested in
I'm
all
home.
these Puerto Rican characters, like adding these in. When did you realize the level of sort of fame that came behind voicing, you know, on an extremely popular game like Overwatch?
I think at Blizzard when Sombra came out for me, because I went to the BlizzCon, and
The BlizzCon.
I mean, it's Blizzard's con. It's crazy. So I think that's when.
Did you guys know that BlizzCon is Blizzard's con?
But it's different. BlizzCon is different to any other con when you're there with a Blizzard game. So it was for me, and it was my first con ever. Like, trust me, my brain
That's
was
crazy.
exploding.
I realized when I was in a cafe in New York and I was having coffee with a friend and she got up to go to the bathroom and then the waiter came over and he was like, excuse me, this is a bit unprofessional, but, and then in my head, I went into like a full New Yorker monologue. I was like, oh, this guy's gonna tell me I can't be sitting here because I'm not eating. You know what? That guy. I'm gonna tell him, I used to wait tables. I can sit here. There's no sign that says I have to be eating. And I'm like ready to
See, we make stuff up in our head.
go off on him. And then I start listening to him and he's saying, I'm a huge fan of your work on Overwatch. And I was like, oh my God, I was about to curse you out. Yeah, that's when I was like, oh, okay, yeah.
And Jennifer, like I said, you have such a long list of work, but it's really interesting to me when you started in the voiceover business. I believe you were a teenager and it was just sort of like a job that, was paying the bills and helping around. When did you take that and realize you had this, extreme gift for voicing and then turn it into this, really successful career?
It's funny. It's never felt like an extreme gift to me. I knew I had a facility for accents and for musicality. I was actually started singing in clubs when I was 15. I was well underage. My son is here, so I regret saying that. But and I was working at a video production house next door to an audio studio, and they asked me to come over and talk and make $30. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? And I was in my teens, and I was like, oh no, and my business side is what pursued voice acting. And I pursued just the commercial side of it. Then I went to Atlanta, I did my first audition for a film thing, and I booked it, and I was like, okay, this I like too. But then I just turned it into a business. I made myself a schedule, and I would cold call ad agencies and producers on a schedule, which made me want to throw up, and I hated it, but I wanted to work and make money. And then I don't know about the talent part, because I've tracked down every mentor and teacher I could and studied with them as hard as I could, and that's what built, skill. So
That's incredible.
So awesome, yeah.
But
You called I've never done that in my life.
well, we didn't have talent agents in Birmingham when I lived there. I called producers and I called ad agency people and was like, hi. And I went door to door wearing a suit because I was still in my teens and I wanted to look serious. And
So cool.
it was nauseating, but
Imagine this 15-year-old girl in a suit is like, hi, I want a job.
I was
hire
17
you.
when I did that. I think I was 17 or 18.
Amazing.
But that takes such tenacity to really just go,
I'm nothing if not stubborn.
and a little bit of fearlessness, I mean,
oh no, I was terrified.
at this age,
Did it anyway.
at this age, it's hard to imagine doing that, and it sort of also is a reflection of how much the industry has changed.
It has. It has. It's grown. I mean, I just wanted to work hard, And I remember in my early 20s, I had to make a choice between acting and singing and acting was paying the bills. So I was like, well, obviously that's what I have to do. And I just now have gone back to the studio and am recording my own music for the first time since.
That's awesome.
Yes. But that's why I always think that it's important. Sometimes it's important for people not to know the rules.
Oh, yeah.
And not to go by what's appropriate, what's inappropriate. Obviously, don't harass people, but at the same time, just doing things and going out there and putting yourself out there in ways that other people think is inappropriate or not right.
Right.
Is great.
I know
Go for
I
it.
stood at Jeff Kaplan's door for a month, and I knocked.
We don't like to talk about that anymore, Caroline.
And that's how I got my job. No, don't do that, guys. I don't even know where he lives.
We found him in her basement.
I call it the happy pest. You're always in a good mood. You're never mad if no one calls you back, and you do it on a schedule that's not quite stocky, but is just consistent.
Yeah.
I love that, the
and
happy pass.
Happy past, hi. Somebody doesn't call you back. They feel guilty, and then now they're not calling you back because they feel guilty. So you just open it up again and go, I'm just saying hi. Hope your day's good. And then you get out. But yeah, I mean, that's actually, when I look back on my career, that is the overriding theme of my career, is sort of me with the machete going through where there's not a trail, going, there should be a trail right here, right there.
That's so
women should be
great.
doing this too. Women should be doing this.
Metaphorical machete.
Oh, is it supposed to be metaphorical? I have a real one. No.
Totally metaphorical. But this kind of leads nicely in, because I'm sure there's a lot of young aspiring artists, voice artists in the audience. So what advice would you give? Being persistent, being the happy pest. What else? What's a good way to hone your skills?
So much advice.
Yeah, there's so much advice. Hone your skills. I think, definitely on in a broader sense, anything and everything in life is gonna add to your skill as an artist and as an actor. But taking acting classes, breathing classes, understanding your body, what happens when you speak, when you make a sound, how your body reacts to certain situations and places, things, thoughts, emotions. Learning as much as you can, as Jennifer said too, calling people or getting in touch with people that you admire or that you aspire to be, planting seeds anywhere and everywhere you can, and just, taking classes, studying.
study singing. If you want to be a voice actor, take some classical singing training or some Broadway belt training. I mean, the number one thing, you know, all that was excellent advice, and definitely get to know the ins and outs of who you are. And also remember, primarily, it is not about you. You are 1,000% irrelevant. It is about the work. It is about the creative art and muse that came through that lauded, in my mind, holy writer, because without writers we have nothing, and you're simply there to fulfill that vision. And you are important in that aspect, and then you get out of the room. Know what's going on the other side of the line, if you will. Like, one of the best things I did is I worked as a PA for 3 years at a production house. So I remember once I was doing a movie of the week. I was playing Rod Steiger's daughter. Rod Steiger was a brilliant, brilliant actor. And I got to play his daughter in this film. And I watched the DP and the director wrestling because they needed to frame a shot. They needed to set up a shot. And because I'd been a PA and I'd frame shots and set up shots, I knew exactly what their problem was. They had a bunch of junk in the background, and I was terrified because I think I was 18 or 19 at the time, and I said, "Excuse me, sir," you know? And I said, "What if I just kneel down instead of standing?" You know, I was standing up at the time, and the director goes, "Genius!" And I was like, "No, I was a PA." Know the other side. When you're an actor in the booth and you do a pickup, if you're like, blah, 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 oh, pick up, blah, 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 that waveform is a nightmare for the editor. There is no place they know where to cut that. So if you have to do a pickup and you go, pick up, blah, 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 you've just left a nice flat line. They can go, it's right there. Know the other side of the line. Know everybody. You don't have to know everybody else's job intimately, but understand that what they do is huge and what you do is a small part. And when you go into audition, get in and get out. Be a mentally healthy person, which is a lot to ask when you're an actor and you're a walking feeling. You're a walking emotional, array. You must have major boundaries that are very healthy and very solid. And at the same time, know when to break them to go and make your way. You know, just have some good common sense and look outside yourself. Go volunteer. Get your center back.
That's excellent advice.
Life advice with Jennifer Hale.
Yeah, I'm sensing like your own little podcast or show here.
Actually,
Tell us about it.
It's right now. It's called the Art of Money. I'm going to probably change it to Adulting with Money or something else. We talk about money, but money really is about your life and your energy, and you know, everyone's getting creamed because the system is wrong and it's broken. And we talk about that you're not crazy, you're not wrong, you're not lazy, and you're not lost. It really is not set up for you. And so let's flip that and get you into a place where you're empowered and informed in a way that you can manage and handle.
I love that. Where can people listen?
I think it's on iTunes. Yeah, iTunes is the easiest. Just look up Money Jennifer Hale on iTunes and you'll find it.
Awesome. I'm definitely going to start listening. When you guys actually record for Overwatch, what's the process like? Do you see each other? Are you isolated? Tell us a little bit about the recording process.
I've always recorded alone. I think sometimes when they do shorts, they might get two people in the booth together for the back and forth. But I've recorded everything. When I lived in New York, it was always we were connected to Andrea and Michael via some headset, and then they would direct us. So I never met them till BlizzCon. Once they had the whole Latin American team there. So there were like 8 people. Hi, I'm from Chile, I'm from Brazil, I'm from Mexico. And I'm like, hi guys, but I didn't see them. I could only hear them. And I'm like, this isn't nerve-wracking at all. Talk about, oh my God, I'm gonna lose my job. But usually they just direct us usually 4-hour sessions, and we'll take, proper breaks and just go. Before I used to do my line 10 times. Now we do every line 3 times, and they choose their favorite. They might tweak it a bit, but now that we know our characters, I think it's goes a little quicker, And I'll be like, Sombra would do it this way, and Michael's like, you're absolutely right. Check, moving on. So it's cool, yeah.
Matt Mercer and I got to record some of the cinematic stuff for Ash together, which was a blast.
Oh, that's so
that's really
lucky.
Cool.
Yeah, so lucky. No, I've never
really good
recorded
time.
with anybody either. Sometimes they play the lines in if it's, an interaction and if they've been recorded. But no, it's always been a solitary thing.
That's how games are 90% of the time. You're basically doing a 4-hour one-person show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's and
Where you get to die in many different ways.
So it must be really fulfilling then to finally see the product out there, since you're in somewhat of a, like you said, isolated situation.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I always have a moment where I'm like, oh, that's how I did it? Oh, yeah. Oh, cool. Or like, oh, ooh.
Then I had the moment where, well, if I'd known that, I might have done it. this way.
Exactly, yeah.
All right,
fun.
we're going to take audience questions. So if you guys have a question, you can line up. There should be 2 mics in either the aisles. And while they get themselves lined up, everybody here obviously is really passionate about Overwatch. And you guys, I want to know, what do you guys geek out about? What do you love? What are you passionate about?
What do we geek out about? Oh, I geek out about stuff I don't know if anybody else is going to geek out about. I geek out about the world.
Hold on, if you're talking by the mics, make sure you step back just a little bit. Thank you.
For me, I geek out about making the world better. That's like my nerdvana. Like, how can we lift everybody up? How can we do this? Oh my God, what's that new health thing? What's that new finance thing? Oh my God, those people help people. That's my nerdvana.
That's awesome. That's really awesome.
Into it.
Well, if you ask a question, we were dealing with a very important situation right here. I thought I
saw
had
there was
something
like
in
a
my
little-
teeth. I just wanted
did
to
you ask
make
a
sure it
question?
was-
No, I just said
okay.
everybody here.
Oh, what do I geek out over?
Oh, I geek over. I good. Language no good for me. I geek out over Monty Python.
I'm not dead yet. Feeling much better.
This parrot is deceased. Yeah, comedy. I geek out over comedy movies. I also care deeply about the planet and about people, and I'm super. Did you just laugh? Oh my God, do you not believe me? I care deeply. No, yeah, comedy, theater, movies, and my grandma.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right, we'll start-
Tacos.
Tacos?
Just tacos.
Oh, yes.
That works.
And maybe after this weekend, deep dish pizza.
Hi, we can start over here. Hi.
Hi, I'm Maggie. I'm from Chicago. And I was wondering, for all of you, what aspect of your character, be it something in their personality or their lore or playstyle or whatever it may be, did you most relate to help you develop your character's voice and how you deliver their lines?
Mercy's boobs for me, obviously. No, it's all armor. Sorry.
No, they're real, dude. They're just that hard.
Michael Chu said it's all armor, and I can play her in a live action.
Oh, good, good, good. Okay,
Version.
good to know.
No, yeah, I think the compassionate side of Mercy, the empathy, the like support that she has for everyone around her, I'm like that in real life.
How about you?
I would say her sarcasm and her kind of dry delivery. Real quick, I kept auditioning for commercial stuff, and the sound engineer at Abrams would be like, "Yeah, Carolina, I love your dry delivery. It's great." And I'm like, "But I'm not booking stuff, man. So like, I don't think it's working." But for Sombra, it was like exactly what she needed. So.
I think I can answer this best by telling a very short story. We were doing call-outs for Ash and, or just, stuff, random stuff for Ash. And they said, well, just make some stuff up. And I was like, okay. So with this one line I said, and apparently I forgot about this, but Michael said, or Jason, I think one of them said that I had made this up. And I'm like, oh yeah, that is me. I said, it's my way, or, oh, who am I kidding? It's my way.
Yes! That was you?
All her.
So good.
That is
I think
really
we had
good.
it's my way or the highway.
Right.
But I was like, oh no, who am I kidding? It's my way.
Love it. Thank you. Great question to start off with. Thank you. Hi.
Hi, I'm Jasmine, and I'm from DC. And my question is, if there was ever a campaign mode, what would you want your character's plotline to focus on specifically?
If there was ever a what?
A campaign mode? So like a playthrough story mode where it's like
It's a really good question.
the map and everything is centered around the character.
All right.
Kicking McCree's butt.
That's a good one.
I'd like to find out what happened with Mercy and Genji exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Shoot. I think. Well, now that Baptiste is out, I guess I want to know more about Baptiste's friendship with Sombra, because apparently they're buds from the past.
What?
Apparently, yeah.
That's good. Thank you so much. Thank
A
you.
hot couple.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Brian from Chicago. My question is, I'm a big fan of the show Critical Role, which is voice actors playing Dungeons & Dragons. It's run by Matt Mercer, who voices McCree. My question is, would any of you want to guest on it? And if you did, what kind of character would you play?
Yes, yes, yes.
I would love to do it again. I was lucky enough to do it this past fall, and it's a blast. I made all the beginner mistakes in D&D, and I had a killer time. Yeah, in a hot second.
I'm scared to be on it. I'm terrible at D&D. No way. I wouldn't
I'm
know how
not
to
scared.
survive.
I want to be on
rock
it.
You would rock it. They tell you.
You
when
totally
mess
would
up.
rock it.
Hey, Matt Mercer, you want to just give
We
us a
wanna
call?
play.
No, he's not actually God. People think he's God, but
I
you don't
know,
have to look
he's so
up when you talk to
dreamy.
him.
And his hair.
His hair, yeah.
Can we come play?
Hey, Matt, can we come play? Meow.
I mean, I don't know how he could say no. Thank you.
Thanks.
It is a great show, by the way. You guys would all be fantastic on it.
I agree. I would be best. But
Although a bit of a commitment if you're not guest starring. So,
Right,
yeah.
absolutely.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Ryan from Chicago.
Sombra Online.
I was wondering, what are your favorite voice lines to say that aren't your own, like another character's? And also, if you could make up a voice line for your own character, what would it be?
I have one. Oh, just go heal yourself.
Yes.
And favorite other person's. Oh, I like hammer down.
I'm a fan. I don't do it well, but I'm a fan of.
If at first you don't succeed, blow it up again!
Yes. That was great.
And I did recommend two voice lines, but one of the ones that I loved, actually finally made it in game, is when I talked to Hammond, because I named my teddy bear Arturito. So I say to Hammond, "You remind me of my teddy bear Arturito," and he goes, and I go, "But he's way cuter." So I didn't make up the line, but because I named Arturito, the teddy bear Arturito, they worked that into Hammond's line, which was great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Ash, do you have
A line that I would work in? Oh no, there's so many good ones already in there. Let's see.
or your favorite Ash line?
My favorite Ash line. Who am I kidding? It's my way. That one. Or actually, my favorite is, Bob, do something.
It's great.
How often do you have the chance to, improvise or, like you said, suggest? It's probably pretty rare, right? Yeah.
Writing is so good. For me, I can't touch it. It's amazing.
Yeah, they never let me do any improvising.
No, dude, you
wonder
gotta
why.
text Michael relentlessly if you have a great idea. You can't just, show up.
I suggested a skin to him once. I was like, I want a steampunk skin. And he said, great. I hate steampunk.
Like, okay then.
Put it out to the fans and have them bombard him with emails.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, hi. Do you want to go over? Yeah, go over here. Over here. You ready?
Hi, I'm Doug. I just want to say, Overwatch family, you are all really amazing, and you do a great job. I'm just wondering, what's your most rewarding personal experience working with Overwatch, and do you have any character, community creations that you like the Drunk Mom Mercy, or the Gremlin Diva, or the Sombra McCree together? What's your favorite thing about that?
Oh my gosh, that's a lot of questions and a lot to think about. By the way, great Ash cosplay.
Yes.
Yes.
Amazing.
Digging it. Honestly, besides getting to meet these awesome voice actors that we now travel with to conventions, I really have a great time meeting you guys. It's a very special part of doing conventions that I didn't have in my life before Overwatch. So I'm really, it's like a really cool thing to get to interact with you guys and understand how the game has affected you, and that's really beautiful. I'll think about the other stuff while these ladies tackle that.
For me, yes, I second absolutely. Meeting you guys is amazing. The stories you guys share, the generosity of not only the gifts you give, but also just the the parts of you that you share with us. That's really amazing. I have to say that the the breast cancer event that Blizzard did with Mercy was so mind-blowing and so special to me. I never could have dreamed that I could be a small part of something so huge and so meaningful. You know, they raised $12.7 million in 2 weeks.
Amazing.
Yeah, and the goal was 250,000.
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
And it made my dad cry, and like it was just so special and so overwhelming for me. And I got so many messages from people today. You know, the handful of people that I got to meet this morning, there was probably 3 or 4 that told me how it touched them personally because they had someone in the family that had gone through a cancer experience or, you know, was recovering. So that's been the most rewarding experience. Yeah.
That's pretty amazing. For me, it's the community. You know, I've been fortunate enough to be a part of, you know, several things and the communities around them. And this community is very special. It's just, there's an overriding culture of inclusion and kindness and it's just freaking fun.
Love. So much love.
Love. A lot of love. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. And
you.
you do look great.
Yes, you do.
Hi.
Hi, I got a question for, Hi, my name is Pedro from Merrill Spark, and I got a question for Carolina.
I love you. Thank you. It's Carolina, but it's all good.
Okay.
It happens every day in my life. It's okay.
If it were one game mode on Overwatch, what will it be, and why is it Total Mayhem as Sombra?
If it would be one game mode,
Yeah, one game mode. But actually, it's just one game mode.
pink carrot 3377. That's my answer. I don't know how to answer that properly because I'm not adept enough with the game. So I'll just say hack the planet.
That's good.
Sorry,
What's
Matt.
your favorite game mode?
My favorite game mode is competitive, despite its nature.
I like competitive. I really want people to just have fun while they play, and I don't enjoy online bullying. So I just want you guys to have fun and don't take it so seriously.
Woo! Thank you.
Thank you.
Do people often expect you to know every intricate detail about your characters and every, you know, just inside and out, and how much forethought do you guys actually, I guess, how developed do you have each character at any given point in time?
Well, what people I think don't always realize is that when we walk in, we see the drawing of our character and the words we say. And when it's relevant to how we're going to say what we say, we're given some understanding of context in that moment, but we run a couple of takes on a line and we're on to the next thing. So the sheer volume of what's passed through our brains isn't always able to stick. So what we're most connected to is the heart of the character. The heart of the character, the soul of the character, and the feel of the character, and the words of the character.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi.
Hello, my name is Hayden. I live in Chicago, born and raised in Kansas City. I had a question. I didn't expect Lucy to actually already answer it, but Carolina and Jen,
Sorry.
if you had, no, and you can say more if you want. If you guys had input to get a costume of your own choice, or like a skin of your own choice for your characters, what would they be?
That's a great question.
I want something sort of Mad Max space kind of a thing, like a Battlestar Galactica meets Mad Max Ash skin.
Cool.
Yeah.
I want Sombra to have a 1920s flapper dress.
Oh, yeah. That'd be really good. And steampunk for you, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Steampunk, but it's not going to happen.
Email Michael.
That would be awesome.
Take down his number. Okay, ready?
Thank you for your question. Thank you. Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Don't like that. I'm Chaz, and I'm from Chicago. I love you guys so much, first of all.
We love you too.
Oh, I forgot my question. Oh, okay. I'm stunned by your beauty. I'm sorry. What is your most ambitious dream or goal that you guys have as actors that you haven't, that you want to achieve? Which you will achieve, by the way.
That's a good question. I guess maybe what's on your bucket list as an actor, an artist?
Save the world and sing.
You can do both. I believe you can.
It's a tough question because there's so many answers. World domination. No.
Hey, Pinky.
He's right in there.
Right now, a big goal for me is writing and getting my own TV show made. That I'm working on something, and that's a big goal for me to get that made and to finish writing it.
I feel like I would love to, besides Save the World, I would love to play like an anti-princess in a Disney Pixar film. Because I like playing sidekicks that are a little funkier and zanier than like the princess. Right. Now our princesses aren't like that. I mean, I think Elsa and what's her name and Moana, they're a little bit more badass.
Vanellope.
Oh, Vanellope, absolutely, yeah. But Elsa, I forget the sister, Anna, yeah. Like, you know what I mean? I think that we're getting there where they're a lot more interesting. Sorry. Have you guys seen Ralph Breaks the Internet? Okay. I just watched it on the plane, and we have Cinderella right here.
Yes, Cinderella!
But that part where the princesses come together and kick some booty is like the best thing ever, and I think that's where it's going.
Break a glass slipper.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's kind of, in the voice role, that's something I'm striving for. But, I mean, I want to be a superhero, you know?
I want to
are a superhero.
I want to be Commander Adama if they do battle, like something like that role in Battlestar. Like I want to roll like that.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Great question. Hi.
Hi, I'm Chase. I'm a Chicago transplant from Wyoming.
Cool.
And yeah, not too many of us there.
I've been there. It's amazing.
It's gorgeous.
You're
yeah,
one of, like,
Wyoming
10
opened
people.
my eyes to this country. It's amazing. Sorry.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
No, so first, Jennifer, look out for a big pink bob on Sunday.
Okay.
I'll be there.
I will totally look out for that. Everyone
then-
needs a big pink bob.
So my question is for Carolina. So I was surprised to hear that you'd only really done studio work alone because your Instagram and especially Anjali's Instagram profile, y'all seem like BFFs. So was it like the cons or like how did y'all end up becoming so close if you'd never really worked together in studio?
Well, Blizzard was awesome, and they threw a little rap party that first BlizzCon after the game had come out in May, and then in November they invited a bunch of us to the Blizzard campus, and so we all met basically. I'm sure like Crispin had met Matt Mercer before, and they'd probably worked together, but a lot of us met for the first time there. So we kind of all bonded, and then Johnny Cruz did this video, and we kind of all interacted, and then it was like, what's happening? And then the Twitter and the Insta exploded, and stuff happened. So so then we started, connecting a little bit more, and yeah, we've I guess become closer at cons, but now because we are close, like we recently went to Zenyatta's wedding, and hopefully I'll go to Junkrat's wedding, not Junkrat, Roadhog. So do you know what I mean? Like now we are friends because of the game, but I think it just kind of happened organically because it is a great group of people,
That's
I
awesome.
also think, though, that just the experience of this project taking off in the way that it did, we were kind of thrown into this boat together, and it was a real bond, like an immediate bonding experience. You were immediately part of a family experiencing something kind of
was rare.
unheard of.
It's the way that the experience you guys have had with this is, your first game, right, for each of you? Yeah. Hi, Small. It's okay.
Big character.
Big character,
First
yeah.
big role. I mean, that's a unique ecosystem. That doesn't happen all the time.
No,
Even on amazing games with amazing cast. I mean, I've known Dave Hayter for, 23 years now, 24 years, something like that. And, we are best buds, so Metal Gear was special for us in that way. But Overwatch, oh, thank you. Overwatch is just, it's a really rare and special, beautiful thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And because of the diversity of the game and because they went out of their way to really find actors that sort of, in one way or another, connected with the character, or, mirrored the character somehow. I think that also, it's such a special group of people. Everybody is so unique and beautiful.
Blizzard did that.
Yeah, and they really curated.
Andrea and Michael and everybody, they did that. Yeah.
So even on movies where you spend like 6 weeks together every day and it's so, tight and you become such a family, I've never had an experience like this where you really feel like you're in this boat together and you just bond immediately.
Like every time I go to New York, I'm like, Lucy, Jen, let's hang out, because they're there. Farah, not this Jen. And vice versa, if people are in town, we want to hang out. So,
and I think that was probably pretty deliberate on Blizzard's part. People don't realize the role that leadership plays in creating a culture like that.
Mm-hmm.
They set that tone. They
and
made that happen.
lastly, though, also the community, your response.
Yeah.
Obviously the fact that you guys go nuts and love the videos that Carolina puts out makes us also more excited to do stuff like that, and makes us more excited to kind of come up with fun stuff for you guys. So
Amazing. We did a video in my yard.
Yeah. I went all the way to her house in LA, and we put on our cowboy hats and did our thing. Cowgirl hats?
Just hats.
Hats. Sorry. Just hats. For me, I felt very cowgirly, okay? When I was sitting there with you.
And you looked like it.
That's amazing. And you guys truly, it seems like not only do you guys get along, but everyone, the whole persona is everyone's really passionate about the game as well. And so that really shows through. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi there, I'm Marlene. I'm from Chicago. You were talking earlier about being inclusive and diverse, and I was thinking with Overwatch already being diverse and inclusive, what if there were a new hero that was non-support? Don't worry, Lucy.
I'm not worried. I'm the best.
I would agree. Anyway, if there were a new hero to fill in a gap with that diversity and inclusion, who would you expect, or what would you expect?
A transgender hero would be amazing.
And an African-American female would be amazing.
There's probably a Native American,
Sorry? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Guys, there are so many awesome possibilities. We're just open to what Blizzard's going to throw at us. Because
and what do you guys need? What do you want? Where do you want to see represented that you don't feel represented yet?
That's a good question. Do you have something in mind?
Trans rights? I don't know.
Yeah, there you go.
Absolutely. That's great.
Trans rights are human rights.
Thank you. Thank you. And thanks for putting that out there. Thank you. Hi.
Hi, I'm Vanessa. I'm from New York.
Yeah. New York, baby. Sorry, little biased.
No, yeah. Thank you. I agree.
I'm from New York, that's why. Yeah.
I've seen you in some of your stand-up comedies, which is awesome.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No. I'll go to more.
Okay.
Question for you guys. I know you guys are in your roles. Who would you try out for if you weren't in your roles? Or what character do you maybe wish you were? Or who did you try out for?
So, or if they could swap with anyone else in the game.
Exactly.
I think that's one of the things that's so brilliant about this game. Like, I don't think I'd be anybody else, because I love what I get to do, and I love the way they do what they do. It's just so yummy, so great to watch.
I have an answer to this question because we get this question a lot, and I think I would like to do Widowmaker. So I have an excuse to eat croissants all day and snarl at people like this.
I need to eat smelly cheese.
Exactly.
I would never trade Sombra for anything because I love her too damn much. But I think it would be fun to do some, how does it go? I want to hug you like big fuzzy Siberian bear.
Yes!
Nice.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you for
Thank
that. Yeah. Hi.
Hi everyone, I am Nick from Chicago. Thank you very much, Jennifer, for sharing with us how you started cold calling as a teenager. And now I have the question for Carolina and Lucie. How did you two start your career?
Yeah, do you remember?
I was born in 1985.
Let's rewind way back.
Yeah.
What was your first job, even?
Well, I've been acting since I was a young kid, but not professionally. Just growing up, I loved it, and so I went to college for acting because I knew that that's the only thing I'd really be good at in life, or that I loved, you know. So from then, you know, acting, I started hustling in New York after college, waiting tables, babysitting, catering, like paying bills with anything that would come along legally, and I think my first voiceover gig was a McDonald's job in Spanish. You know, compra la Big Mac por 99 centavos. Yeah. So I've done a lot of McDonald's and Burger King, which is horrible because I never eat them. But, you know, commercially I did a lot of voice work in Spanish, Mexican Spanish, which prepared me for Sombra, so that was good. But I auditioned for film and TV a lot in New York and theater and cried a lot because it was so hard to not have jobs. You know, it's been a hustle for a good 12 years nonstop and with a lot of other jobs. But I've always loved acting. It's something that since I was a child I just absolutely adored, since I was like 5.
So I grew up in a theater family. I was around theater people, actors, / crazy people my whole life. I never even considered that there would be anything else that I could or would do. I think once when I was 5, I told my mom, either I'll be an actor or I'll be someone who wakes people up by slapping them in the face with wet washcloths. So that's specifically good that that didn't happen. What's funny is that the first short film that I ever did, I was 14, and I played a German girl who falls in love with a little Jewish boy, and it was the actor who played the boy, it was his first kiss ever in life and on camera. He was 13, I was 14, and he's here. He's a guest here. John Francis Daly, he's in Bones.
Oh my
And we haven't seen each other since then, and we saw each other in the green room, and it was so awkward.
Did you guys kiss?
We were like, hi, oh my God, how are you? Yeah, and he was like, oh my God, you were my first kiss, like, in life. And I remember his grandpa was there, and it was so awkward. So that was my first short film, and that's like such a funny, weird
He's on
reunion.
stage next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he's back there, it's hilarious and awesome. And
Can we reenact it then? If he's
no tongue, guys. But one of my first voice acting gigs was dubbing Khloe Kardashian in German for Keeping Up with the Kardashians in German.
How does she sound?
Which sounds like this. Oh mein Gott, Kim, was machst du da? Lass uns doch ein Selfie mit Lamar machen. Oh mein Gott, wie geil.
That is truly genius.
Yeah, guys, also, Lucie speaks like 5 languages. How many do you speak? 6?
No, come on, like not like you. Fluently, I speak
English?
German, English, and then I speak Greek pretty well,
French?
Spanish a little bit, French a little bit.
This woman.
But not as fluent.
Parlons français.
Ah oui, oui, mais bien sûr.
Ensemble.
You have to do that voice, otherwise you can't speak French.
Merci beaucoup.
Yes, thank you. And you just
Merci.
extracted one of my favorite moments of the convention so far, which is the German Khloe Kardashian.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi, my name is Blaine, and I'm from Hell.
Nice.
I gotta be back in like 15. Satan needs me. But I got a quick question. You're all Monty Python fans, right? What's your favorite bit or movie? And what is your favorite color?
Color?
Yeah, that's from The Holy Grail.
Yeah. No, that's fine. I was like, okay, I didn't know if you were serious. Sorry, I'm just gonna start because I'm a diehard. Oh, I almost cursed. So, Life of Brian is my favorite movie. My favorite moment in Life of Brian is when he's looking out, when they've all followed him home and they're all standing under his window, and he goes, "Go away, you are all individuals." And they all go, "Yes, we are all individuals." And then one guy turns to the camera and goes, "I'm not." Brilliant. So good.
Oh my
And then,
I want to watch Monty Python with you.
yeah, Faulty Towers. I know that's not, it's John Cleese, the Germans episode. I basically learned English through that episode. We moved to this country when I was 8 years old and I couldn't speak English, and my dad said watch TV, and we would watch Faulty Towers. And I remember my sister and I like not being able to contain ourselves because of the word prawn cocktail. For like 2 weeks, we were like, prawn cocktail, ah, like laughing hysterically. But yeah, so sorry. This is what happens when I talk about Monty Python. I'm like,
I think we need to leave it
This
at
is
that.
the whole thing. Yeah, I'm
I
leaving it
agree.
there. I'm not touching
also,
that.
sorry.
Yeah,
also, also in oh my God, in no, not Holy Grail. Oh, somebody please help me. The Meaning of Life, exactly. I am death. Anybody? And he goes, darling, there's a Mr. Death here. Something about the reaping?
Thank
do a
you
one-woman
so
show
much.
about this.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi, Will, Dayton, Ohio. One of the things I've always loved about Overwatch is how the LGBT community has just embraced this game. It's always been kind of a very welcome thing. So, hypothetical. Season 12 of RuPaul's Drag Race. Category is Overwatch. Not including your hero. Which hero do you think a queen could just pull a killer look using?
Zarya. Boom. Oh. Zarya, who else?
Like if they did that character on the Drag Race. I like Zara. I like Zara.
Zarya would kill it.
Zarya.
Like hardcore.
The Metro too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
No?
Yeah.
Hello.
Awesome
All of us
question.
can have some.
Make it happen.
Yes.
Absolutely. Oh, Lucio would kill it too. The dreads.
Yeah.
What's your answer? Do you have one in mind?
Honestly, Symmetra would just be...
See?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No one reacted.
Great question.
Yeah. Woo. Hi.
Hi, this is kind of a basic question, but who's your favorite heroes other than your like the one that you play?
Sombra and Ash. Junkrat!
What is it?
Junkrat.
Junkrat's
I love
crazy.
Junkrat.
Bob.
Bye.
Thank you. Hi.
Hello there. I'm Spencer. I'm from St. Paul, Minnesota, and I'm studying here in Chicago for animation and voice acting.
Cool.
And first of all, you guys are awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
For
You guys are
being
awesome.
Monty Python fans. Thank you. My film.
yeah.
That is my favorite. It is also Life of Brian.
Yes.
Thank you.
Best movie of all time. Biggest, dicketh?
Boy named Brian.
It's a quote from the movie. Everybody relax, okay?
What have the Romans ever done for us? The aqueduct? What? The aqueduct.
The aqueduct, exactly.
Oh, yeah. That's it. And sanitation.
Is there?
Oh,
a
right,
question
sanitation.
there?
Reg, remember what the city used to be like.
We should do this at my table, and now let's hear your question.
All right. Like many students, that are starting to get into the acting business, a lot of us get a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear, and a lot of us just want to know where to go. So my question is, as professional voice actors, what would be a one sentence that you would say to somebody that was starting to help them move into the business?
Okay. One quick piece of advice off the top of your head for someone breaking into the business.
Breathe.
Just do it.
You're exactly where you're supposed to be, and you are exactly enough.
Perfect. Thank you so much, and good luck with your career. Thank you. Hi.
I'm serious about the breathing, though.
Hi, my name is Cami, and I'm from Wisconsin. I love you all, and thank you all for working on Overwatch, but my question's for Jennifer, because Mass Effect is my favorite franchise on the Citadel. And I just wanted to ask, like, Commander Shepard was such a revolutionary character because she had all these voice lines and her role didn't change whether you played as a man or a woman, but FemShep was not depicted in like the marketing and things like that until the cover of the third game. Did you feel like jilted at all by that marketing decision, or like what do you think made that change in order to finally have them acknowledge her, you know, as her own character in the third?
You guys made that happen. I don't focus on that stuff. I don't focus on what isn't other than to take note of it so I know where to hammer next.
Definitely.
I don't spend a lot of brain time in what I don't have. I spend a lot of brain time in what I intend and what I want, and then I get to work making it happen. When I complain and miss out and feel bad, I feel bad, and I don't enjoy that at all. So I don't spend a lot of time on that real estate. But fans made that happen, which is, I think, something we've heard over and over today about that. And first of all, thank you. That's lovely. About Mass Effect and about Overwatch. Like, you guys are more powerful than you know. You can make things happen with your emails and your feedback and your requests. Fans made that happen. And you guys make things happen. Like, you know, you want to see the next trans hero in Overwatch, you speak up, because they will listen. Yeah. So thank you.
Thank you.
For
I
that.
used to work in community and games, so it like is great feedback too to hear that. So thank you so much.
Yeah,
for
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And we have time for just one more question. So we're going to come over here. Hi.
Hello, my name's Alyssa. I'm from Southside Chicago. And I was just wondering, because I cried when Sombra was announced, because I was like, oh, I'm Mexican. Because I'm a Latina, I'm first generation American. And so I was just wondering, how does it feel to be icons to people who love your characters and what you do?
That's a really good, you know, I mean, the representation aspect, I think, is where you're headed with that. And how does that feel to sometimes be breaking these, you know, boundaries and representing a race or an ethnicity that hasn't been represented before?
First of all, I mean, I'm honored that Blizzard chose me to be able to do this. It's a little daunting to think that, like, Sombra is the representation of Latinos. Because, I mean, there are so many more Latinos, and Sombra is just one awesome character, but she's just one. So I do love to feel all the love from all the Latinos who come and say, you've helped me. My mom sits and watches me play because she loves your Spanish lines. I love all of that community building and feeling represented properly, because as a Latina who's also auditioned for a lot of roles that I don't feel proud of because the industry just keeps churning those out, it feels really good to be able to play a badass right now and feel like I'm doing justice to our people. But I also just hope that there will be more in the future that we can all look up to. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think that Black Panther's doing that for so many people, and we need Carmen Sandiego to keep doing that for people. And so it's just growing. Hopefully it can keep expanding, you know?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And you guys are all badasses. This has been an awesome hour. Thank you so much. Did you guys have a good time? Thank you. Please, one more round of applause for Carolina